Welcome to the first and a new video on Goosebumps. Today, I'm just a normal dude. I'm gonna find out what's gonna happen and what's going on with this whole feminism thing. And what better place would there be on the entire planet than Amsterdam on the Feminism March? So we're gonna ask some people what is going on and ask some interesting questions and hopefully get some interesting answers. Let's go. Could we ask you some questions maybe?
Sure.
What are we doing here today? Me. I'm just a curious dude, like I said. Not really.
What are you?
I'm Renzo. Nice to meet you.
Blixa.
Blixa. So I'm wondering what rights are you fighting for, why you're here, or what, basically just a big why.
It's a feminist march, so it's everything.
Everything.
Yeah, you can stand here for, I don't know, feminism, stop vagina tax, like...
Sorry? Vagina tax?
Vagina tax, you know? We have to pay for a tampon.
Vagina tax?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, we have to pay for products and products.
Okay.
So stop that.
Fair enough. I get that.
Yeah, so whatever you want to stand for, you can stand.
So I can stand here for bricks being green?
I mean, sure, if you want.
That seems odd. Wouldn't you think that's odd?
Yeah, sure, but if it's your standpoint, it is yours and you should be proud of it.
Okay, so you can literally think anything, say anything, and people will be like, you go, girl.
Yeah.
That would delete all value from it, right?
No.
Why not? If you can literally say anything, there's only value in scarce things. That's the thing with supply and demand.
If you say bricks are green because feminism, sure.
It doesn't make any sense, does it?
No, it doesn't.
There's inequality for bricks. All men must die?
All men must die.
Why you want me dead?
Yeah.
You don't have any knives on you, right?
No, I'm not gonna kill them. I'm not gonna kill the men. They're going to abolish themselves in the end, eventually.
Why is that?
Well, because patriarchy, which is also a man-made thing.
You believe we live in a patriarchy?
I think so. You think you don't think so?
I don't think so anymore.
Oh, what do you think you're living in then?
Matriarchy, that's like the women thing, right?
Oh, are you for real? That's why
women have more rights nowadays than men, maybe.
Okay, but that's why we still haven't had the president of the United States ever being a woman, and that's why men are still getting paid.
I'm not talking about the United States.
And that's why every 8.
I'm talking about here.
Okay,
Right
well,
right now.
in the Netherlands, every other 8 days, a woman gets killed because of femicide.
You know what happens to men every now and then?
Tell me.
Oh, men are told to be killed. I don't see any men here around here telling people like women should die.
This is maybe the first time that openly they are being told to be killed, and I think that that time will come.
What is feminism for you?
Feminism for me mostly is breaking free from specific gender norms that, well, limits both men and women in, well, general life. Like having men be like, you can't cry, or you have to always be at the gym. And for women, for example, you have to mostly work in like care industries, like being a nurse at certain hospitals. I just want people to be free to have their own choices. At the moment, that's very difficult because, well, besides just general cultural norms, we are also, in the economic space, we're also quite limited sometimes. Like women are still, for example.
You say we. So you identify as a woman?
Not completely, but like.
So what do you identify as, if I may ask?
Not really much at the moment. Mostly men, some bit of women, but I don't care.
You're figuring out, or okay. Yeah. How does that work? Figuring out something like that?
It's mostly just trying to basically question the kinds of thoughts and ideas you have.
Okay, because I was born with a penis, and I figured I'm probably a dude, and I kind of stick to that, and I'm fine with that. But I guess it's not the same for some people.
Yeah, for some people it's like, okay, I was born with a penis. I hate that thing, and it feels weird to have it.
I don't actually think that this idea that we all have the freedom to do whatever we want or something actually really exists. I think there are real material factors which restrict that freedom. Like, for example, like working women like face heaps of violence against them, like both structural, systemic, and like in their relationships and stuff, and there's no proper societal support to fight against that violence because it's just not profitable.
Okay,
And you also see that people from like the LGBTQ community and stuff like that also face this violence very frequently. I've faced this violence.
What kind of violence, if I may ask?
For example, slurs levied against me, shouting, people telling me to get out of it. In like when I lived in Australia, I've had people say like, "Oh, I'll kill you if you keep talking to me like that," or something like that.
Like what?
I was just being who I am, and they just sort of
What is being who you are?
just dressing in the way that I dress, like talking with my friends, hanging out with my friends, and they sort of got into a bit of an altercation with us, and then
They didn't appreciate the way you dress or the way you... Okay. I'm against any violence. I think we should respect any people that dress any way they want or whatever.
You can be against that violence, but saying that is just like sort of almost a non-statement without actually looking at the real material underlying factors for that violence and the system which perpetuates and shapes that violence.
But the thing is, we teach people not to steal and be kind, but there's still dickheads out there in the world and stealing.
Yeah,
so
well,
there's a part on your own responsibility.
But why are they stealing?
Sorry?
I'm assuming you're talking about like petty theft, right? People stealing a phone, people stealing a
Robbing banks or any kind of violence, whatever. And we also teach people not to rape, and of course there's people still going to be raping or making a fool out of anyone. So don't you think there's a part of your own responsibility too?
I feel as though you're acting as though it's a given that these things happen, but it's not a given that these things happen. There are real material underlying reasons and pressures for this happening.
Yeah.
Like someone who, for example, steals $20, right? Probably they need the $20. Probably it's because they're poor or unemployed or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that's the reason, right? There's an underlying factor. So then you look at
there's a
why
reason
are
why they're
poor.
poor.
Yeah. Why
Maybe
are
they made
poor?
a few very bad decisions.
That's kind of putting an individual responsibility.
Yeah, we all have individual responsibility, right? I mean, saying that we wouldn't have any responsibility would be kind of naive.
Okay, to be honest, I don't really think this is a very productive discussion.
All men work for females, you know that?
Is it?
It is.
How does that work?
How would you think it works? If you would have to take a wild guess with where I'm going.
I know that all men come from females and that
Okay, but that doesn't answer my question.
first we were all female.
But what does that have to do with all men working for females? Because I think it works that way.
I don't know where you want to go.
You know why? Because all men, they want to work, they want to earn money, maybe have a nice car, maybe some don't, but eventually, all of us, we want to have a female and we want to give our resources towards providing for our family, our wives, or whatever.
If you have a heterosexual image as the main image of the country,
it is the majority. Exceptions don't make the rule.
yeah, I understand you, but I've got a different way. I've got a different view on reality.
When a man makes his wealth and he gathers his resources, he gives out towards his family, his children. When a woman makes her money, she's like, I'm an independent woman.
What is the source that you got this information from? Your own life?
Reality is a very good source, I would agree. It's been working like that for hundreds of years, isn't it? If you read history books, that's your source.
I don't know. I'm not here to emphasize your ideas about reality. If you want me to emphasize those ideas, yeah, I don't know if we have a real conversation.
There's still a gender wage gap, but they're basically marketing themselves as being progressive.
I mean, you kind of fix the gender wage gap if everyone is just whatever, right?
Well, if
Somewhat. How many different genders and sexualities are there?
I don't know. I really don't know.
What's the difference between a gender and a sexuality?
Sexuality is who you fall for and how you feel about other people, and gender is what you feel.
What you feel.
Yeah.
I feel good.
What is a woman?
What is a woman? I don't know.
Then what is a man?
I don't know.
What if there's no differences? Why is there even a point on naming it?
Because people want it to be named.
But if you can't even explain the difference between a man and a woman, why do we even have names for it anymore?
If you-
I believe there is a difference.
Traditionally, you have a man and a woman. A man has a penis and a woman has a vagina, right?
Yes, exactly.
But times are changing. You have people that have like a penis and also a vagina.
It's like a very small percentage, right?
Yeah, it's a medical thing, but still,
We shouldn't exclude them. I completely agree.
no, but still, like,
Exceptions don't make the rule.
no. But
I think that's what's happening right now.
no, times are just changing.
It's making the exceptions the rule.
So?
It causes complete chaos and like confusion with people. And life is already difficult and complicated enough.
If you don't want it to notice it, just don't notice it. If you don't want to be here,
But if you're gonna send your kids to school and you're gonna end up with some weird ass information and they're gonna come home and talk about all this sexual shit while they're 5 years old, there's no reason for them to have any of that information.
no, because it's not talked about in school. When you're 5 years
It is.
No, when you're 5
It
years
is.
old. Where?
People that are boys, there's people that are girls. There are people whose gender might be a little bit of both or might even be neither.
Lessons include books about transgender children. Another blaring example, drag queen story time. It's happening in Canada and America, where some public schools and libraries invite drag queens, some dressed like horned demons, to read to young children.
There's a lot of propaganda around this movement, and I'm not sure if this benefits people in terms of equality, and I think it's actually dividing more people rather than sticking people together. What do you think about that?
Well, it depends on what kind of propaganda you mean.
For example, platforms like Netflix and Vice, how do you view those platforms actively promoting this?
I see it as, for some, of course, there's going to always be a component of people who actually want more change, but I also am always skeptical of corporations trying to make changes like that, because, well,
It's becoming kind of corporate, isn't it?
in some ways, yes.
Yeah. You think it would be better if all men would die?
Well, for a lot of things it would be better, yeah.
Who's gonna fix your bike? Or your car? Because I don't see you doing it.
Well, yeah, maybe then I should walk soon.
Maybe you should. It's really weird, I gotta say.
I'm noticing that you have a very stereotyped, like, there's a pre-selection of the people you're interviewing. I see you, like, interviewing guys.
Oh,
So I'm
I literally want to interview anyone. And why would I not be allowed to interview guys? It's about equality here, right?
I just wonder, I just got curious. What are the questions you ask?
I ask questions about literally anything. I ask questions about what the rights are you people are fighting for, what you think about certain subjects.
But I wonder, like, what was the question that you asked before?
To which person? You've been following me, or?
No, like, I just noticed you, like, walking around. I was like, okay, this is, I don't know, I sensed a certain weird vibe.
Because I look like a normal dude, you sense weird vibes.
I was just wondering, it was a bit of a weird setup for me for the setting, so I would just want to check what,
Oh, no,
what was the
I'm
question.
literally open to talk with anyone, just same with you, or any person that you can see right here.
And how come that you picked this place now to do your little mission?
My little mission. So my mission is little and yours is big. You can have. I feel. I sense some pressure here, some tension. We can have a normal conversation, right? Okay, that's fine. I have some skepticism about feminism in general.
You do,
That's
right?
fine. I do.
You do,
I do.
We are actually thinking that time of nuance and time of conversation about change is it's not really making change.
I mean, we have the same rights here in a country like this. Men and women get the same pay. We can do the same things. We can get the same jobs. I'm not saying all around the world. I'm saying here it's definitely very, very equal, if not more beneficial for females.
The things on paper are always different than the things in reality. It's really hard. Yeah, I lost now what I was saying actually.
Very sorry for that.
Yeah, I mean.
I don't remember your brain.
Yeah. Okay, no, you, but.
But something I think is that the men that do hurt women are usually very insecure and weak men. So what I do is I would like to make my male friends stronger, to help them mentally, physically, to become a better and stronger and less insecure, a more confident person, so they will be more kind and more giving towards the people around them, male and female. So I think I'm doing my part on there, and there's just no point in trashing men like this and making them more insecure, because that's eventually the reason why they are hurting females or any person around them.
So we are making men insecure, and
Not
that's
saying,
why
I'm
they're
saying it's a
hurting
part
us.
of it.
I don't think that that's the truth, but I understand that.
You don't think it, I know it.
Well, maybe then you're the all-seeing eye.
Maybe I am.
Weak men feel offended because of this. Well, let them be, because it is time for them to feel offended, because it's time that it's going to end and it's going to change, and they need to take care of their own feelings of feeling defended and weak and whatever it is that they're feeling, and let them do their work, let them do their homework in order to change as a human being in society.
I absolutely agree, but this is not the way I
Amazing.
think. Let's make people stronger. I agree on that.
Yeah, but also being vulnerable and being soft is also a thing for men that is very hard to embrace, which is not being promoted by society at all. And I think that
In the modern times it is actually.
well, I think let's go
Too
on
much.
with it.
And that's making men weaker. It's not necessarily helping.
Maybe we should work together as a team in order to make men harmonious living creatures.
How would you recommend doing that? Is that only by education?
I think domination of the male is the solution.
But do you understand why this is necessary?
I believe that it was necessary a very long time ago, but I think equality is a very normal thing here.
It's still necessary. We're standing here because it's still necessary.
There's also people.
It would be great if we wouldn't have to fight for it, but we still have to. We're fighting about women all over the world. We're fucking killed. Who have no life choice because of their gender that they don't even choose.
You're walking away. I would love to talk to you.
I'm done with my part. I've said what I need to say.
This is very common.
Well, I think at some point there's no point discussing it.
This is easy fighting, right? Let's say you are an insecure person. And you might be a little confused and you hear all these things in the media. Don't you think that might be harmful?
No.
You don't think?
No, because if you really feel that way, you can change yourself, and maybe if it's just temporary, like cause if I'm a girl, right, and if I want to be a boy, I can just cut my hair and feel gender euphoria.
Just because of their gender that they don't even choose.
Gender euphoria is that you feel right in your body.
You feel right in your body.
Yep.
I feel that because I'm happy being a dude.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think everything's shown in the media, like transgender, non-binary, is really that harmful to kids, because it has been a big thing for years.
It's become a bigger thing in the past few years, thanks to the media.
No, because it's more noticeable.
I think it is a bigger thing than it was because of the media.
Because people are speaking out on it.
Yeah, but you just said it wasn't.
No, but it has become bigger, but it really hasn't become bigger.
This is kind of how marketing works. So if you see more of a thing, someone that might be insecure will be like, hey, that's me.
Okay.
If you go to, for example, Google Trends. Have you ever used Google Trends? Trends, not trans,
no.
But trends. You can search any keyword and you can see how it developed over the past few years in popularity and how many people search for it. These kind of subjects is something that people are actively searching a lot more because it's more in the media. And there's all kinds of big media companies that actively push this.
Yeah, okay. So where are you going with this?
That it might be a slightly evil plan to divide people, because I think it's dividing more people than it's bringing people together.
Well, how is it dividing people?
If you start labeling people with all kinds of words and genders and sexualities that are kind of irrelevant for the real world, you are dividing people. Because people are going to be pointing fingers at each other and fighting for the right.
People want words for different things. People want to hear non-binary, people want to hear trans, people want to hear, I don't know, asexual. Because they have to put a label on it. People are literally putting labels on everything.
Yeah, that's a bad thing.
And if you don't, then people will start to get mad. And
you're more than a label, right?
I'm more than a label.
Exactly.
But you know what? I wear labels proud and loud. I don't care.
What kind of labels do you wear, if I may ask?
I'm bi.
Bi.
I'm bi.
As in bisexual.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like I'm screaming it across the room like, hey, I'm bi. But
that's good.
I am proud, you know. I'm proud in my sexuality.
But it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Okay, I agree.
But you're really annoying.
Why am I annoying?
I don't know, you're just really annoying.
I'm asking difficult questions, or?
No, not that, but you're just annoying.
Why am I annoying?
No, no.
You should have an answer on why I'm annoying, otherwise I really cannot accept.
Okay, it's just that you're going from right to left. Like you're all over the place. One thing... You
guys are all over the place.
Maybe we can help you, and maybe society will help you if there is a more positive and harmonious approach towards the female side in people.
I think I'm very respectful towards women, actually.
Great, and then probably women are also more respectful to you. And
yeah, most of them.
Is a reaction as well.
Towards the very small portion of men that are not here. Seems kind of pointless.
Well, if you are a man and you like this to stop, then you can maybe also tell your fellow men and friends to behave in a different way in order to make a more harmonious society, past patriarchy, past matriarchy, in where people are all equal.
A few minutes later.
Do you think we can find any nuance here?
I don't know if we want to. Do you want to?
I would actually.
Why?
I'm not a person that likes to divide people. I like people to come together and do fun stuff and thrive. And I don't think this is a net positive to that.
Well, because you always have been on the good side of the medal. So it's time also for other people that
Spread hate?
I'm not spreading definitely hate. I'm just I'm looking for other options.
I don't hate you. You hate me, I think. You can't tell me why I'm annoying. You don't have to talk to me.
But I want to, because
It's important for both of us.
yeah,
So it's good to have this conversation.
prove your points and I want to prove mine.
I don't really want to prove it.
Yeah, it seems like you do.
I'm just trying to make sense of things.
Okay.
But that seems very hard if anything is possible and everything is okay. And if there's no boundaries, then you can't really make sense of things and everything is just...
Why do you want boundaries?
Is that really a question? Without boundaries, you cause complete chaos.
Okay.
And with all these people on the planet, you need some sort of standard. And if everyone's just gonna say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I have a penis and I'm identifying it as this, and I don't really see the point.
Okay.
Because usually, the amount of people that are actually the wrong body is so small.
Yeah, okay, but like, why does it bother you so much?
Like I said, for the young people, for the next generation, I can shut my eyes and not give a fuck.
Maybe you should.
Don't you think that your sexuality is a private thing and that you shouldn't necessarily have to walk around and advertise it?
No.
I'm not saying you do that.
No, like,
I'm saying in general.
different people express themselves differently. Everyone does.
So that makes anything okay. I'm sure you can think of a few things that wouldn't be okay to express yourself as.
I mean, if you, I don't know, like pedos or stuff, that's too far.
Exactly.
That's too far. But everyone knows that. And everyone,
I mean, there's
almost
also
everyone
people
thinks
disagreeing
that.
on that, but I'm happy we can.
yeah,
we can
exactly.
agree.
Exactly. But like, it's okay to
Now you see why boundaries are important, right?
I get that. I get that. Why do you want boundaries?
Gotcha, bitch.
Why would you go to the point of making, I don't know what to say anymore.
Conclusion. What are we gonna do? I'm gonna help my friends, my male friends, be stronger, so they attack less women, because that's what all men are doing. What are you gonna do?
I'm actually making a theater play called All Men Must Die.
Go annoy other people.
I will annoy other people.
Enjoy.
You too. I hope you have a fantastic day. The sun comes through for you. It's like a present.
Yeah.
And enjoy it.
Okay.
Get some vitamin D.